Hey everyone, it's Bergeron and I'm back here doing painting for absolute beginners. And today we're not going to need this. We're not going to use our color palette today. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to be looking at some watercolor pencils. All right, these are the Stadler ones and I also have the Crayola ones. But these are a great alternative, especially if you're traveling or well, a whole lot of other purposes. But these are essentially watercolor paint that's been put into a pencil. All right, so this is a pretty big set. This is 24. My Crayola ones are only 12, but you'll see they have many colors in them. This set I've had for quite a while. It doesn't really get used up that quickly, to tell you the truth. You can probably buy one of these only every couple of years, and has lots of colors, lots of variation in color. But let's get at it and see what it does, okay? So much the same way as we paint with watercolor, there's lots of different things that you can do with this. They're very versatile. If we take one of these, you can simply take a wet brush and wipe it across your, I'm not gonna say don't do what I'm doing, wipe it across your pencil crayon and you'll see you will pick up blue paint. All right, so it's a very versatile way to work if you were traveling, or if you had you just want to put a few things in a bag to take with you somewhere. You know, maybe you're traveling to school or to work and you wanted to paint a little bit on the train or whatever. It's very easy to do this. You can just pick up a little paint like that. So here's the other thing that you can do with it is you could just draw like you would any other regular drawing. All right, let's say we wanted to take and make an orange. All right, and we're going to just draw a regular orange on our page, and we want to do this as a watercolor painting. All right, so we can just draw, you know, curved lines, and maybe my orange has just a tiny bit of pink in it. I don't know why it would, but let's say my orange has a little tiny bit of pink in it. And maybe my orange was not quite ripe and it had a tiny bit of yellow through it. Now you can use these just like you would any other pencil crayon in the world. All right, so you could say, oh, that's my orange right there, I'm not doing any more, thanks for coming out, orange. Right? Or you could get your paintbrush wet, just a little bit of water, and you'll see this will turn into paint right on the page. Magic, right? First time I used these, I was kind of blown away by them. But you can just take that water and move it around and fill in whatever you want to fill in, not fill in stuff if you didn't want to. Move the paint around, whatever it is that you want to do, but you'll see it comes up with a great effect. So much like in our other still life that we were working on before, if I wanted to put a banana into this still life, I could draw my yellow banana, put in some of the little separations that makes a banana, maybe pick up my brown, put in a couple of lines where maybe there's going to be some bruising on it. Maybe this banana is not quite ripe, so I'm going to take a little bit of green, put a little bit of green at one end, maybe there's a little bit of green at the other end, or a little bit of green along here. And then you can just pick up your brush, take a little bit of the water off of it, and just turn it into banana. You see, it's a pretty versatile tool to have. Now, if you wanted to, you can come back to this and you can add more color to it once it's dry. You can, like I said, if you were, you know, if I have apple and I want to just draw in my apple with my pencil crayons and just use it just strictly as a yellow, or sorry, as a green pencil crayon. I don't know where yellow came from, but color it in as a green apple and maybe put in a little bit of different green into it just to highlight it, and you want to leave that as green apple, well, there's no reason why you can't. You know, maybe this green apple has a little stem coming out of it. You could just leave it like that, no problem. Or you could say, well, it could use a little bit of blending, and just pick up your simple number 4 little paintbrush and give it a little blending. Maybe that's it. And to me, they're a very, very easy, simple tool to use. Really, really versatile. You know, you could do this. You could certainly go back to this still life that we worked on before. And you could say, well, I really want to have some highlighted color in this apple. I don't really like the way this is, so I want to add some color to it. Maybe over here I need a little bit more color over here. And maybe I like some of this modeling that's going on in there, so I'm going to leave that completely alone. But I want to add some more yellow tone to my banana in some places. And maybe I could say, you know, my banana is not quite as green as I wanted it to be on the ends or on the underside or whatever it might be. Maybe I'm going to look at this and say, hey, this orange needs some more orange, right? So now I'm taking a watercolor painting and I'm adding watercolor pencil to it. And somebody might look at that and go, okay, yeah, that's it. That's as far as I want to go with it. But the thing that you can do with watercolor pencils is I can start to move some of that paint around. I can say, hey, I really want to take this and just drag it into another place. I can say, hey, I really like this orange, but I really want this orange to be a little bit oranger over here. Or I want my green for my banana to mix in with my brown on there a little bit more. Whatever it might be. And the watercolor pencils will allow you to do all of those things. The other thing is you can still take a piece of tissue, get in there and pick that color right out. All right. So if I didn't like that, I can just get right onto it and pick it right out. No problem. The color comes right off. Very, very simple. Very, very easy. All right. So watercolor pencils, lots of different things that you can do with them. I'm going to show you something else that you can do with it. So say you wanted, you don't like pencil lines in your watercolor painting. Lots of people draw their watercolor painting before they start to put it onto the page, or before they start to put the paint onto the page, I guess I should say. Well, one of the things that these tools will allow you to do is draw your house, right? So I can draw my barn, I can draw my house, I can draw my building, all right? I can put the tree in the background. I can say, you know, hey, there's a tree line in the background back here, but I don't want my pencil line to show up, right? Well, then you just use these, because what's going to happen? Well, I can either take this and turn it into paint, right? Or I can paint with my normal paint, my watercolor paint. I can paint my watercolor paint right up to it and it will just disappear because it too is watercolor. All right, very, very versatile tool for artists. Hugely underrated. I use them all the time, especially when I'm traveling or especially when I'm doing plein air. I use them all the time like this, where I will touch the brush to the touch the brush onto my pencil, pick up the color, and then put it onto the page like that. I'll also draw with them, use them to fill in spaces, all kinds of very, very versatile ideas to use watercolor pencils. All kinds of them. Like I said, this is a pretty good Staedtler set. I got this set of 12 Crayola ones for $4. Crayola doesn't make any junk. Theirs are just as good as the Staedtler ones. Maybe a little bit limited in the color palette, but still very, very, very good tool also. A variety of uses. I would suggest that you go and pick these up, you know, for $4. How can you go wrong? $4 for a pack of 12. I think the Staedtler ones were around $25 for the box of 24 of them, but they do come in the pretty cool metal case that you will use all the time. So again, this has been Painting for Absolute Beginners with Rod Bergeron. I really do appreciate every like I get, and I appreciate every comment, and I really appreciate everything. That's a lot of appreciates, but I really do appreciate everybody who is a subscriber. So if you like this video, please click liked. If you learned from anything from this video, please click liked. If you're not currently a subscriber, consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you again next time.